Today we're going to be going over a recent buy and hold real estate investment project that I had. We're going to go over what upgrades were made during the renovation, why I chose to do those upgrades. We're also going to go over all the financials. And you're going to want to stick around to the end because I'm going to reveal what the project looks like after all renovation is complete. And it will blow your mind. What's up everybody, it's Jay. And here we talk about personal finance, real estate, and other gems that can make you money. That's right folks, we're sharing the wealth.
Subscribe!
So as you guys know, real estate is my absolute favorite topic. So when I get a new deal, I can't wait to share it with you guys. For me, I think it's the best vehicle to build long-term wealth. So let's start with this one by talking about how I got the deal in the first place. Over time, I've built some relationships with several contractors and handymen. One of the guys that does a lot of work for me one day mentioned, "Hey Jay, my family's selling a property." This, by the way, is why it's a really good idea to tell people that you're into real estate and you're looking for deals. Apparently the property was very distressed, and in his family someone had passed away, and the son and daughter of the deceased were in somewhat of a disagreement about who should control the asset and what should happen. They finally just aligned on let's sell the place as is. They weren't going to do any repairs or upgrades. So I checked out the house and it had potential. Usually I look for deals that have cosmetic issues. You know, like carpet or paint is needed, but this one looked like it was in pretty bad shape. However, there was some things I really liked about the property. It is close to downtown in the city I live in. It's also near the water. Just up the road is a beautiful park and a marina. So in my mind, it was a prime location. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house, and they were asking about $310,000. I was already pre-approved for a loan, so I made an offer. I offered them a little less than what they were asking, but I did come in at $300, and they accepted my offer. And what do you think happened next? We all lived happily ever after? Come on. Real estate doesn't work that way. Nothing's ever as easy as you think it's gonna be. Well, this was no exception. And as soon as the appraiser showed up to do the appraisal, that's when problems began to appear. Because the lender doesn't want to lend money on a house unless a professional appraiser can confirm that the value is there. You see, lenders are all about risk, and if things show up on the appraisal report that indicate that the home is unlivable, and the lender starts thinking,
If we loan money to this person, what are the chances that the individual will be able to pay us back each month if no one is able to live in the home?
obviously I won't be able to move in if the property is deemed unlivable, and I won't be able to rent the property either if the property is deemed unlivable. So I know a lot of these real estate channels talk about getting fixer-uppers, but if you're getting a loan, there's kind of a fine line there. It's really hard to get a loan on a property that needs so much fixing that the lender thinks the property is unlivable. So the lender came out with a checklist of things that they thought were red flags and made the property unlivable. Number one, the main window in the front was broken. The whole window was cracked and there was actually a little hole in it where air could just freely flow in from outside to inside. Number two, the water heater was completely rusted out. I mean, there was no way this water heater was gonna work. It was disconnected and the bottom was just rusted with nasty stuff spilling all over the garage. Number three, it didn't have a working stove, which indicates to the lender that there's really no way to fix any food. The stove was there, but it didn't work at all. It was completely broken. You couldn't light a fire. Not good. Number four, the water didn't work. The plumbing was actually not working. One of the specific issues was that the drains were completely clogged. Apparently there was a bad tenant in the property prior to it being vacant. And when the tenant was asked to leave, the tenant became angry and poured mortar down all the drains. And if you don't know what mortar is, it's that stuff you use to build a brick wall, and it's basically cement. And it went into the drains and it hardened. And as a result, all the running water was disconnected or turned off. So it was looking like the deal wasn't gonna happen. And specifically, the seller didn't want to put any money into the property. So there was really no opportunity to ask them to make all these repairs. And of course, I don't want to make the repairs. I don't own the property. But on the other hand, I'm not going to own the property if the repairs aren't made because I won't get the loan. And right when all this is going on, the selling agent starts talking about, well, the seller just wants to back out and take a cash offer from someone else. I really did not want to lose this deal. So this is the crazy part. You guys won't even believe this. But I wanted this deal so badly that I actually went into the property before any transactions happened and repaired everything. Kind of a risky move because right now my name's not on anything. I don't have any claim to the property whatsoever. And here I am putting all this money into the property. I had a plumber come and fix the water heater. We fixed all the plumbing. We had to replace the pipes because the mortar had hardened in the pipe and there was no way to snake it out or anything like that. We literally just had to cut the pipes out and replace them. We got the window fixed. I found a used stove off the internet and I had that installed. It was just good enough to get the fire working. At this point, I had put just over $4,000 into the property, with no guarantee at all that I would end up owning the property. I knew the seller was motivated, and they just wanted to get this off their plate as fast as possible. And then I came back with a new offer, but this time I went down to $290. It was a gamble, but I had a pretty good feeling that it could be pulled off. And luckily the seller agreed, and the deal closed. But that was just the beginning. And I told you this property was in bad shape. You guys won't believe this. So I'm gonna show you some photos. Here you can see the kitchen. Look at those nasty tiles above the sink. I don't know what happened here. I think the tenant that was there thought they were some kind of contractor. Apparently the tenant was doing his own work in there. These cabinets that are there where the sink is, those weren't even really attached to anything. They were just kind of floating on the floor. Everything was sticky and nasty. It's hard to believe that somebody was actually living here like this. These are just a few other various pictures around the house. From inside the kitchen, this is the wall that separates the dining room. And here we are inside the dining room. Remember this view, folks. I'll explain this in a bit. And moving into the bathroom, the tenant's at it again. Look at that tile work. Horrible. Pretty much everything had to be torn out. There was no saving this place. The clock is ticking, and every second that this place is not rented out is costing money. It's time to get the renovation underway. First up, demolition. I instructed the crew to tear out all baseboards, tiles, doors, the cabinets in the kitchen, all fixtures, and some of the sheetrock was bad. And after we took some of it, we saw some termite damage in the wall and had to take some of the beams. The house had a 1950s electrical system, and since we were already this far into the walls, I decided that now was the right time to just replace the whole electrical system. Honestly, I'd rather deal with it now while everything is torn apart than have to come back at a later time and try to deal with this. Alright, so let's talk some of the financials. So originally I thought the project was going to cost me about $30,000. It ended up getting a little bit more expensive than I had anticipated, and I ended up spending about $50,000 on the remodel, which still is a great deal considering everything that we did. You know I paid $290 for the property, and I think the value right now is about $425. So still have some good equity in the property. The cash flow on the property, after the mortgage is paid and after everything's said and done, all expenses, is about $1,000 a month, which I think is a tremendous win. Some people like to say you can't make deals work in California because the properties are too expensive. So this is an example of how it is possible to make cash flow work in a more expensive area like Northern California, the Bay Area. Well, let's switch gears. It's now time for what I know you guys have been waiting for. Are you guys ready for the big reveal? I said, are you ready? Here we go. And this is what it looked like after. I told you to remember this one. You ready? Oh, I love it. Opening up the walls made such a big difference. The modern 3-pendant light fixture, alongside this accent wall, gives the dining room so much character. I added some recessed lighting to the kitchen, along with a center-mounted task light above the sink. Then I went with a dark quartz countertop, very durable, and the elegant white cabinets really pop. And the finishing touch was all new stainless steel appliances. Throughout the home, I went with a luxury vinyl plank for the flooring. It's very durable and perfect for a rental. And in the bathroom, I went with marble tile throughout. The only thing I kept in the bathroom was the cast iron tub. I was able to save some money and refinish that. All in all, I think it turned out really well, and I plan to keep this investment for years to come. Even though there was a lot of struggle all the way through this process, I gotta say I loved every bit of it. And if I'm being honest, I had a ton of fun. And if you're on the edge considering getting into real estate investing, it is my honest hope that this video lights a little fire inside of you, because now is such a great time to start building for your future. Alright, that's all we've got for now. There will definitely be more projects like this coming up in the future. I just love these type of projects. If you have any questions about this particular project, please leave it in the comments below, or if you're working on a project, let me know. And if you loved this video, please hit the like button. If you only kinda like this video, still hit the like